In one section of this trampoline park, Carolyn, there is a dodgeball arena. It's pretty incredible. It's an actual setup where there's a bunch of dodgeballs lined up in the middle on this little hill, and then there are trampolines everywhere, so you can play trampoline dodgeball. How do you feel about that?
It sounds fun for the children.
So Jackson was obviously enticed by the dodgeball arena the first time that we saw it. We go in there, and him and I are the first two people in there, right? But then once a little bit of activity starts brewing, him and I are just kind of like, casually throwing some balls at one another. A bunch of other kids come in and join, right? And then, so before we know it, a full-on game of dodgeball has broken out. I'm the only parent in there. And I would say that the average age of the kids is probably somewhere between 6 and 7, all right? Jackson's definitely the youngest at 4 years old, by far, right? So the kids are a little bit older.
And he's a petite 4.
Yeah, he's a little guy. So, it's pretty obvious that Jackson and I are a father-son tandem, right? I was playing with him first, and then so as this game goes on, I come to find that there's one kid in particular that is really zeroing in on Jackson, and he's like whipping the ball at Jackson, hit him a couple of times, and so, it definitely gets my attention, starts to get my blood boiling a little bit. So the very first thing that I do is I kind of like go over to Jackson, make sure that he's okay, again, so that the kid that's targeting him can see that, the father of this child is here. He's a little bit young. Maybe we want to make sure that we're taking things easy on him. The kid is really, really focused on playing the game, right? So he keeps on yelling, even after I go over to him, that he's out. And he's now directing his message to Jackson that you're out, baby. So this really starts to get my paternal instincts flared up. And I wound up kind of going into a blind rage. And the next thing, and this is why I'm bringing it up. I want to know, TBC, you have free reign to tear into me here. Tell me how wrong I was, or if I was wrong at all.
So you hit the little boy with a ball? Pretty powerfully?
Let me get there, okay? So yeah, I first, so this kid basically wants to play legit dodgeball, where it's if you get hit, you're out, we're playing for keeps and whatnot. And then, so basically I put Jackson behind me, and I say to this kid, I was okay, so he wants to play like this, and he knows that this kid's father is right here. Let's play some dodgeball then, kid. So I basically engage in a game of dodgeball to the full extent of my abilities and athleticism against a 7-year-old child. And yes, I will admit that I wound up making contact with him a couple of times for good measure. Was I in the wrong?
Yeah. So, okay. I think that you are in the wrong more or less because you kind of took the ball and threw it at the kid with vengeance. So
but it was a game of dodgeball.
Right.
So let me just say, to your point, I was looking around for the kid's parent first.
Looking around, no one's looking, I'm going to pelt this kid?
Perhaps.
Okay,
that was a part of it. No, I was, so the kid was clearly unsupervised. So I had to take matters into my own hands. And the way to enact vigilante justice in a dodgeball arena is to say, game on, kid. Let's play some dodgeball. You want to go hard at my son? I'm going hard at you. And that's exactly what I did. I don't think that I was wrong to do what I did. I definitely want to hear.
You don't think you were wrong?
I don't think I was wrong to do what I did. However, it was kind of like a Frank Costanza in Festivus sort of moment. It was as I rained blows upon him, I realized there had to be another way.
Well said. That's funny.
And so I resolved within myself. I was you know what? I did what I did, but I just can't go into the dodgeball arena with Jackson anymore because my parental instincts are going to fire up, and I'm gonna go hard at 7-year-olds again.
I mean, I hear you, but I think that probably why you got so enraged was because they were literally coming up to Jackson more or less rough and kind of being a little bit like mean to him with like what they were saying to them. If it was more or less just like a fun game of dodgeball, I think it could be played. But if they're going to be like, you know, wail at him and then like call him a baby and tell him like get out, then like I can see where, you know, you kind of got a little bit like amped up.
And it's not like I wanted to get in the kid's face, right? And like yell at him. I was just like
throw the ball at him.
Let's go.
Hard.
Exactly. I'm like, so let's play dodgeball. You want to play for real? It's on. To hear the full episode, find Young Family Podcast anywhere that you get your podcasts or visit us at bit.ly/youngfamilypodcast.